As temperatures fall and winter as we know it sets in, it also marks the beginning of the fog season in Dubai. For Dubai airports here, this is perhaps the most challenging part of the year. As the world's busiest airport, which will welcome 100 million passengers very soon, the task of managing its ever-increasing airline traffic through dense blankets of fog can be all the more daunting. But like all things Dubai, Dubai Airports too has embraced the most sophisticated technology at its newly opened AOCC, or the Airport Operations Control Center, to ensure flight disruptions are kept at a minimal.
Well, the fog season affects us through the winter months. We're usually starting late September, early October, until usually around February time, which can be extensive. It can be thick fog and it can be very disruptive fog here at the airport, affecting the integrity of our operation. As an Airport Operations Control Center, the AOCC, we work very closely with the meteorological services here in Dubai and in the UAE to make sure that we are getting the best information possible so that we can understand when fog is predicted and we can anticipate our response as far in advance as possible. We will usually know the day before. The fog will usually form in the early hours of the morning, 4 a.m., 5 a.m. local time, which unfortunately coincides with one of our biggest peaks in terms of traffic at the airport in the early hours. When the fog is predicted, then we run through a number of protocols to make sure that our response is initiated. The Airport Operations Control Center will coordinate many of the activities. Once the protocols have been initiated, we will be speaking closely with the home carriers, Emirates and Fly Dubai in particular, because of the volumes of traffic and passengers which they bring in and out of DXB. We're working with them to make adjustments to the schedule, and very often usually we will find that the fog that comes in the early hours will burn off a few hours after the sun has come up, and usually will dissipate around early to mid-morning, 10 a.m., depending on the intensity of that fog in the first place. So once the fog starts to form, then the kind of decisions that will have to be made are primarily on the arrival rates, the flow rates of traffic into and out of DXB. So DANS, our air navigation service provider, who manage the air traffic, provide the air traffic services here at DXB, they will make a decision on flow rates. So if the visibility reduces, if it reduces to a low level, then they will reduce the number of aircraft that can arrive and depart from DXB. And in that case, then the airlines have to be prepared to hold until the fog clears. If they haven't got the fuel to hold, then they could be in a situation where they have to divert those aircraft to other stations. In the UAE, primarily that would be down to DWC, down to Al Maktoum Airport. It could be other airports in the UAE or perhaps in the region if necessary. Our primary focus is to, as an operations center, is to ensure that the schedule for the different carriers flies as close to the plan as possible. Any type of disruption, particularly when fog is involved, will mean that it's very difficult to fly the schedule to plan. And if the schedule's not flown to plan, then there will be an impact on the passenger. So we're very mindful of that. We're very conscious that that protecting the passenger's journey is a key focus for us at Dubai airports. So what we will do is if a flight is delayed and a passenger misses a connection, we will work with the airlines closely so that we can protect those passengers. We can make sure that they are comfortable, that they are informed, that they know exactly how their journey will continue when there is a new flight for them, tickets are issued, bags are transferred, and we move them onwards in the most expeditious way and comfortable way possible. The airlines, they have obviously the technology they have within their aircraft. They are able to land in almost zero visibility conditions, but when the visibility is very low, then in the interests of safety, that's when the air traffic control and service providers will reduce the flow rates increase the separation between aircraft. I think it's understandable for the passenger, for the customer, that when the visibility comes down, it's the safest thing to do to increase the separation between aircraft, despite the technology and the sophistication of the onboard systems on aircraft that can not only fly and approach very accurately, but can also detect the distance and proximity to other aircraft in very thick fog. It is safe, it's sensible, it's prudent to increase the separation nonetheless.
As we've seen, fog management can be a daunting task. Surely in the days to come, we will be seeing a lot of fog in the headlines, but be rest assured, Dubai Airports has what it takes to manage the challenge. This is Sharmila Dhal, Chief Reporter, Gulf News from Dubai International.